Hey guys, it's Lance from Christianity Minute. I really enjoy this time of year. It's high school football season, the temperature is finally starting to cool off, and the holidays are about to kick off with the first major one being Halloween. This time of year, I also start seeing Christians from all over talking about how we shouldn't celebrate Halloween, since, well, it's because it's of the devil. And it has pagan, ungodly origins. So let's examine exactly what the Bible has to say on the matter. In reality, there's not that much. But it's all the things that are associated that can really give us pause. First, a little bit of history. Now, I'm only going to scratch the surface for the interest of time. Let's face it, if you want to go more in depth, feel free to leave a request in the comments below. I'll make a future video if you really want me to. Yes, Halloween started as a pagan holiday. Its most concrete origin that I can figure out is with the Celtic folk, who believed that the new year, for them, was right around November 1st, could be preceded by a return of the spirits, long dead the night before. Yes, there are also some loose Roman roots, as well before the Celts, but we're not going too deep. Well, keep from being attacked by spirits when they would return to the world, people would dress up like those spirits, and the ghosts would believe that, hey, they're a spirit like us, we won't attack them. I guess ghosts and spirits are pretty dumb. Anyway, well, the Catholic Church decided they wanted to assimilate this holiday into their own and try to woo the pagans into the church. They had already started creating feast days, and for certain saints, they were quickly filling up the calendar. And they were playing around with the idea of a feast day for all saints. Well, they had started celebrating it about May 13th, somewhere before 373 AD, but in the 730s, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day. And we eventually see All Souls' Day for the faithful dead on November 2nd later on. Again, this, strangely enough, lines up with the pagan holiday of the New Year of the Celts. Now, whether or not anyone is authorized to create feast days or any religious ceremonies or rites is a great topic for another video. Leave a comment below if you'd like to hear more. So, as far as history goes, we have the occult, and we have the Catholic Church padding the calendar with these feast days. But what about Christians today? Well, first let's take a look at the idea of secular adaptation of the old Celtic celebrations. Coming in just a few days, I'm going to take my daughter trick-or-treating to family houses. We even have the opportunity to go to the Halloween-themed event at the zoo this past weekend. There are many festivals and events around this time. We in the culture in which we live has no real connection to worshiping the occult. We take part in witches and goblins, knowing full well it's all fake. I have no issue with it in my conscience, and can find no scripture when influence is not involved. In fact, Colossians chapter 2, verse 16 says, "Therefore, let no one pass judgment on you in questions of food or drink, or with regard to a festival, or a new moon, or a Sabbath." Well, he's talking about these secular and even pagan holidays and events which people are taking part. We can't be Christians if we're isolated from the community in which we live, and if we don't take part in these types of things. What influence do we have on the people that, what influence can we bring to these people for Christ? Separately, if you're celebrating something as a worship to God, or a religious rite or feast, well, then we might have an issue here. There's no scripture that supports worship to God in this way. God has laid out in the New Testament how we are supposed to worship Him. And if we add to that, then we can see in Revelation 22, verses 18 through 19, that we are not to add or to take away from His Word. Proverbs 30, verse 6 tells us, "Do not add to His words, lest He rebuke you, and you be found a liar." Well, Revelation chapter 21, verse 8 says what happens to all liars. So, after all that, I tell you what, if you have an issue with Halloween, then 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 7 through 12 says you should not be participating in the holiday. You know what? That's fine. Enjoy the evening, not doing the things that our culture does for the evening. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't bind that on someone else when Scripture is not present. That's been your Christianity Minute for this week. Remember, if you like this video, give me that thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, well, you know what to do. If you'd like to see more from Christianity Minute, click the subscribe button and the bell icon if you want to hear notifications. Now, if you'll excuse me, my daughter, who's dressed up like a witch this year, and I are going to go see what kind of candy we can get trick-or-treating. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. She started without me.